I didn't realize how open this change was going to make the shop look and feel. Not to mention better lighting by the bench. Welcome back to the shop on the channel and the continuing saga of this. Part 3, redoing all the plumbing for the dust collection system. And like I said earlier, I'm using ductwork from Home Depot and it works great. So anyway, when I said in the previous video about designing on the fly, I wasn't kidding. As you go along in projects like this, well, you either find better ways and more efficient ways or easier ways to do things. I got that going on here. So in this video, part of the video, you can see the cap, the end cap for the piece if I want to come over here to the other side of the shop, which I don't think I want to do. Anyway, I've got it comes out at 45 degrees as anticipated. Last time I saw me put the trunk up, that's locked in place now. Let me grab, I'm not going to grab my camera here to do this. I'm going to give you a little tour with the iPhone because I don't want to disassemble my entire camera rig here to do this because I've got my camera set up to work off AC as well as everything else. So I know, first world problem. So let's take a tour of what we've got so far. We'll start here. So this is the side of the ductwork that's going to pick up for the surface planer and now also the sanding hose that I had before that was mounted in the middle of the bench. So I'm going to get a new magnetic mount for that so I can quickly disconnect and reconnect them as I need to. Again, it's 6 inches all the way out to here, then it's 4 inches. There'll be a small extension at the end of this, which will come down and the gate will be right about here, and then the connection point below that. Now my logic here makes a little more sense. So here's the 3 45s off of the trunk. And this is an example of how it's going to work. It'll come over at 45 degrees here to a support. And then all 3 will come out 1, 2, and 3 here, like here. But because of the distance between this one, and this one, it would wind up having the last one over here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is put one of those adjustable 90s in here on both of these so I can rotate it a little bit. So at this end, it'll be much closer to this hose here. And then all 3 will just drop down between the router table here and the bench and then into the tools they need to go to. So that's basically it for the quick tour. So I'll proceed on with the making of the stuff and putting it all together and I'll do separate segments in this video of the stages as I go along. This is a flexible 90 I was talking about. It is 90 degrees, but you rotate these things and you can change the angle of what this thing sits at so that I can get that just slight angle change I need between the trunk and the drop over here. So that's where I'm at. Let me proceed on. Oh yeah, I had to order one more of these because I was one short. Onward. So we're back on Action Cam. Where are we now? There's the trunk, the center trunk, and the 3 lines coming over, if I can keep focus, to these downs, these soft 90s. They're going to go down for the 3 tools over here. And then it comes out. There's the cap piece, and you've already seen that over there, which is the fitting for the thickness planer and for the dust pickup for the sanding machines, like the random orbital sanders. This is like a sky view. You're getting a sky view of everything. So there's the downspouts or the pickups for the router table saw, and jointer. And those will have 3 flex hoses that will come down like this between the bench and the router table. I might put in a some bracketry, get this out of the way, some bracketry that'll take those from this direction and put them this way. So it'll be between the widest piece of wood of my table saw and the longest piece I would cut on the router table. One little point that I need to point out is that these are much higher than the original. The original ones were down here. Everything was underneath. This is much higher. So in order to reach this, the gate has to be right about here. So it's out of your way. Not going to bang your head, but you can still reach it and open and close it. And then I need to put probably some bracketry here just to give it some stiffness. So what I have is some more of, I have some of this 4-inch ductwork, which I'm going to cut to the lengths, and then I'm going to connect these to it. I made a trip to my local woodcraft supply, which is kind of local, and they're now carrying these Magfitts, dust collector hose connection system. It consists of a tool piece like this that has rare earth magnets in here and a piece of Teflon on covering those up. And then there's a hose connection, which they only had one, I need two. And it basically goes like that. So it's easy. I'll put it up there. This goes up on the gate. And then one of these will be on the surface planer hose, and the other one will be on the hose that we use for sanding. It just goes click like that in place. And you take it down, put it right up. It's really easy to work. So that, and I got a couple of extra of these 4-inch rubber connectors. I've got 3 of those. I think that should be enough. What I did have on that system, let me dig it out of the box, is this Izzy Swan connector, which he doesn't make these anymore. I think he sold the whole design to MagSwitch, or he's in partnership with MagSwitch. Anyway, this is the twist lock system. It's good. I like it, but that's simpler. Yeah, I'm simplifying things. I'll keep this in my shop, of course, that's in the other end of it, and for some other tool or that I might hook up later on in the future. But for now, I'm going to replace this system with a magnetic system. Well, it's pretty much done. I may have to do some tweaking here and there, some supports for the down tubes or whatever, but I've taken to calling this the Spider. Boomers will get the reference. So anyhow, this magnetic joint thingy here for the surface planer, this is the other end of it here, and I bring the tool over and just, that's it. And I'm good, and when I'm done, give it a twist and it comes off. Because it's got, actually you don't need to twist it, just pull it off. And so now I can do my surface planing here, thickness planing or whatever, and then when I'm done, just pull it off like that. It also has a 4-into-2 that I can use on the workbench, like I said earlier in the video, for my random orbital sanders. I've got a connection on my circular saw, on the track saw, and a couple other tools. I think I've got one other tool with a connection on it somewhere. Anyhow, so this way I can use those tools and extract dust as well. So this is what this side, this is what the finished part of this side looks like. The gate is in place, and you can reach up and grab the lock or screw lock if you want. And over here, as you can see, these are done, but like I said, I may have to put some bracing back here just to, I mean, they're fine. They're not moving down at all, but just to get them a little bit of support in the back, probably from here down to here. They pulled a little bit that way. And again, I want to align these up here so that you can run things through the router that are long, and you can bring the table saw fence way over here and do larger pieces of wood. Here's a screen cap of what it used to look like and where all that tubing was and whatever. And of course, you see now how open that space is. I mean, it's all open here. I've got more light down here on the bench. Everything's more efficient. And let me do a quick demo if I can. Hold on. Oh, it's May 4th. I forgot to tell you. May the 4th be with you. Yes, I am a geek, a nerd. I like that stuff. Sci-fi. Anyhow, so I don't have the tools to do a really nice scientific test of how well this thing's pulling air. I know when I turn it on and stick my hand in there, I can really feel it. But let's do the paper towel test. Yeah, let's do the paper towel test. That's pulling some air. Maybe one day I'll get an inexpensive manometer and see what kind of CFM per minute I'm getting through one of these fittings. But I'm still pulling air now because it's winding down. So there it is. my new dust collection system that opens up the space and makes things brighter in the shop. Amazing. I will tell you about my next project. A friend of mine has a pool, a shallow pool, and a diving kind of pond pool, and they're connected by a little canal, for lack of a better term. And there's a bridge that goes over that canal, and the bridge is rotting out. So I want to build a new one out of ground contact pressure treated lumber. It's 8 feet long. It's 35 inches wide. It has no railings, and it's 2x4 treads going front to back. And the arched sides are cut out of a single 2x12 by 8 foot piece each. So it's kind of a simple project. It's going to be all stainless steel fasteners and the like. So anyhow, that's our next project. So until then, make great things out of wood.